may I now request our DG sir for the welcome address, please.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I heartily welcome the chief guest, Mr. Ritu Ranjan Mittar ji. I also extend a hearty welcome to Julian. He gave up his engagement in Indonesia to be with us today. Thank you so much. And a very hearty welcome to Mr. Rahul Vatts, who is the vice chairman of COAI and is a very well-known figure in the telecom industry. And of course, Pradeep Gupta ji, who is a co-sponsor with us. I also extend a very hearty welcome to all the delegates sitting in the hall, as well as to the members of the press who are with us here. I would also take a step aside and thank, at this stage itself, Colonel Jindal, who is a serving army officer, to having graciously accepted to conduct this event as the Master of Ceremonies. He is, as you are all aware, he is part of the Prime Minister's entourage who conducts events for the Prime Minister, but he found time for us here. Thank you very much, Colonel Jindal. Ladies and gentlemen, today is the second event that we are holding in this series that we have started in the early 2025. We took a little departure. In all the panels that I've attended, it had been focused to one vertical. A particular panel has been focused to one vertical, it doesn't go beyond that. And then after the panel is over, after the event is over, a report is prepared and then it does the round, and whether anything happens to that or not is something that we really don't know. We thought that in the first event of this series, which we held in the month of March, we deliberated upon a lot of cross-sectional issues which were current and topical, cutting across policy, regulation and technology, came to certain conclusions, came out with certain grey areas which wanted more answers later, and this dialogue is now going to develop on those areas which came out of the first event. And this is how we will continue year on year, God willing. We would have liked to welcome our minister, but like the MC said, the viral strain which is going on in Delhi has taken a toll of him and he has not been able to join us. And similarly, we would have liked to welcome our chairman on stage. Unfortunately for us, but fortunately for him, he has been promoted as the CEO of VIL, and therefore his new appointment, recently acquired new appointment, keeps him busy in Bombay, but he sends his good wishes to us. We'll see him some other time. We have a galaxy of people sitting on the dais. The pedigree of Mr. Mittar has already been read out to you. We are expecting a lot of knowledge to come from his mouth. We are expecting a lot of knowledge to come from Mr. Rahul Vatts also, and so are the panelists chosen in such a manner that a lot of justice will be done to today's event. So without wasting any more time, I would like to once again welcome all of you, and I'm sure you will have an exciting day today. Be free to ask any questions you wish to from the panelists, from the speakers, so that the telecom industry as a whole benefits from this session. Thank you so much.
May now invite Mr. Rahul Vatts, Vice Chairperson, COAI and Chief Regulatory Officer, Bharti Airtel, for the industry address, please.
A very good morning to everybody. Mr. Mr. Mittar, Mr. TRAI, Julian, Pradeep, Mr. Kochhar. I also see Mr. Bharti in attendance after a long time, sir. So, as Mr. Kochhar already covered, we were hoping for presence of the Honorable Minister. Unfortunately, he's not there. But I'm sure the agenda for the day is quite engaging. And given the curated topics which the COI has chosen, it will be of an area of interest for all of you to really participate in these things. Telecom is a very dynamic sector. We have seen a lot of upheavals in the last 30 years. We have also seen how society has transformed on the basis of the infrastructure created by telcos, of course with ample support of the government and the regulator at each intersection of its growth pattern. Honestly speaking, this is one sector where you can say that the regulator, the policymakers, the government and the private sector have equally footed and collaborated to create something which is very unique. Nowhere in the world are networks carrying 25 to 28 GBs of data per user smooth as it can be. Nowhere in the world will you see a rollout of a humongous 5G network in a matter of hardly year and a half. These are all achievements which are not easy. You cut across to any part of the world, you will realize the challenges which the industry faces in terms of monetizing, in terms of improving the coverage. But one area that is very dear to us these days is also about, given that it's something we use every day, and our entire financial transactions are now based on this infrastructure. I think digital trust and safety is an area of key concern for all of us. And that is another area which today I think the COI is going to address. We have seen reports from the government about large scale of digital fraud which has now become encompassing within the networks, and how networks have been able to really address the situation collectively. Again, with the help of the government, a lot of initiatives from the regulator, forward-looking regulations, and of course, the sector itself trying to come up with unique and innovative solutions. So that's one area I'm sure we are going to see being discussed in ample thing today. It's also a time for us to ponder that whether only the telcos and the policymakers and the government and regulators can address this situation, because there's a larger, wider ecosystem now which needs to be addressed. When we are trying to holistically look at the issues, today the communication and transactions are not just on our network, but also a lot of players in the digital ecosystem who also participate in this entire journey. So maybe we need to have a debate on how do we ensure that the entire ecosystem is somehow involved in addressing the safety concerns and not just few people. So I'm sure the proceedings today are going to bring the voices together. We'll have a good round of discussion and consensus building to see what more can we do as an industry. There are a lot of issues. I see Mr. Manoj here. There's a very curated session in the later part of the day addressing really the investment scope of the entire sector as we go ahead. So I really look forward to the day for all of you. And thank you, General Kochhar, again for the visionary leadership which the COI is showing to really bring about these discussions and take it to the next level. Thank you so much.
May I have the honor to invite you, sir, for your address, please.
Shri, Ritu, Ranjan, Mittar, Chief Guest, Member TRAI, Lieutenant General Kochhar, Director General of COAI, Mr. Rahul, Vatts, Chief Regulatory Officer, Bharti, Airtel, and I'm proud to just announce that he's also been appointed as Chairman of the GSMA, a cross-sector anti-scam task force, and Mr. Pradeep, Gupta, Chairman of CyberMedia. Distinguished guests, colleagues, friends, good morning. It's a privilege to join you here today. At a time when India's digital nation progress is really attracting the world, more and more of the world's attention. It's not just the bold visionary leaders, some present here today and others being referred to, but it's the energy and the milestones being achieved in this market, such as the recently announced investment of Japan committing to $6.8 billion for semiconductors and AI in this country. It's also an honour to join this event hosted by COAI, a partner of GSMA, and who we're proud to work with, and whose relationship continues to deepen with the support of General Kochhar and our increasing partnership with IMC. In a few weeks' time, GSMA will, for the first time, publish one of our Crown strategic reports, regional reports here in India. GSMA publishes a lot of reports every year, but actually the most downloaded, most read report is the APAC Digital Nations report. And we're going to be publishing it in India because it's recognised that India is rising as a digital nation, the Viksit Bharat vision, and also the fact of India rising as a global telecom superpower. And so it's with that framework, I'd like to make a few comments today about our theme of empowering Viksit Bharat. Viksit Bharat is more than a policy. It's a national resolve to transform India into a developed nation by the centenary of 2047. From a global perspective, what is truly remarkable is how this vision intuitively and comprehensively embodies the very essence of what the GSMA calls a digital nation. GSMA's digital nation is built on 5 core pillars: robust infrastructure, sustained innovation, fair data governance, unwavering security, and the empowerment of the people. And when we look at the architecture of Viksit Bharat, we see these pillars reflected with stunning clarity. We see it in the world-leading digital public infrastructure that has become a global benchmark, in the ambition to make India a hub for 6G and AI innovation, and in the profound commitment to empower every citizen through digital inclusion. India is not just following a playbook, it is writing a new one for the world to see, and today I would like to offer 2 comments on that progress. The first, this journey, this great national project, is powered by connectivity. But as we build this magnificent digital edifice, we must be clear-eyed about its foundations. A digital nation, no matter how advanced, cannot thrive without the bedrock of digital trust. As our economies and societies move online, so do the risks. The threats of sophisticated scams, malicious cyber attacks, and widespread data breaches are not just technical issues. They are threats to the very fabric of public confidence. Every citizen must feel safe, secure, and confident in the digital world. Eroding this trust risks reversing the incredible gains made in digital inclusion and could undermine the very aspirations of Viksit Bharat. Therefore, protecting digital trust cannot be an afterthought. It must be a shared, collaborative, and urgent mission for every single person in this room. It requires a partnership, a whole of government, a whole of industry approach to build a digital ecosystem that's not only powerful, but also safe and resilient for all. But imposed government obligations that create unfair compliance overhead and disproportionately burden mobile network operators alone is not sustainable, distorts responsibilities, and alone will not preserve trust. Consultation, collaboration, and co-creation are the key for a safe and secure digital trust world. My second comment relates to India's rising role as a telecom superpower and the world's need for a new global digital statesman. India has already demonstrated its capacity for world-changing innovation at population scale. Now, as it solidifies its position as a telecom superpower, it can become an inclusive superpower. This means looking beyond its own borders and becoming a champion for a global digital commons that is open, secure, and equitable. First, by nurturing global standards, by embracing and helping to shape open, interoperable frameworks like Open RAN, India can foster a diverse, competitive, and resilient global supply chain, perfectly aligning its mission with a more secure digital future for everyone. Second, by championing harmonisation, in a world at risk of digital fragmentation, India's leadership can be a powerful force for creating common, cross-border approaches to challenges like cybersecurity and data governance, ensuring that technology unites us rather than divides us. And finally, by supporting those who don't have the resources that India has. India's journey and its innovations, especially its digital public infrastructure, offer a powerful blueprint for other emerging economies. By sharing its knowledge, its technology, and its experience, India can help lift millions more out of poverty and into the digital age across the globe. The path to Viksit Bharat is a testament to the power of collective effort. GSMA remains deeply committed to supporting India's vision and also being part of the collective effort to make connectivity not only universal and affordable, but also secure, sustainable, and globally benchmarked. At GSMA, we see India not only as a leader in its own right, but as a catalyst for the entire Asia-Pacific region and beyond. GSMA has recognised India's bold steps and progress with the Mobile World Congress Global Leadership Award in 2023, and has shared the lessons from India on spectrum management, digital inclusion, and affordability to help shape and influence regulatory frameworks across continents. This is not just about a sustainable and inclusive digital India, but the rise of a global telecom statesman to mentor and guide a world of digital nations. Together with the COAI and the Government of India, we look forward to ensuring that the next decade of connectivity brings opportunity, trust, and empowerment for all. I am honoured to be able to represent GSMA on this journey and to be able to call many in this room friends and colleagues. And on behalf of GSMA, we applaud our partner COAI and the Ministry and the Department of Telecoms for the spirit of collaboration here today. Let us work together to not only build a developed, prosperous and digitally empowered India, but to forge a legacy of global leadership that helps create a more secure, inclusive and trustworthy digital future for all humanity. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to invite our chief guest, Shri Ranjan Mittar, for his address, please.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. Julian, GSMA Chairperson, Mr. Vatts, Chief Regulatory Officer, Airtel, Dr. Kochhar, DG, COAI, Mr. Pradeep Gupta from Voice and Data. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to be amongst you this morning for this very important day, which will see us many sessions under the umbrella of COAI dialogues. Let me just recap the recent developments that we have seen both in DOT as well as in TRAI. DOT, we all contributed, and we have a new Telecommunication Act. The rules under the Act are almost finalized, and I'm sure COI and the other stakeholders are contributing in the DOT consultative process to make them see the light of the day as soon as it can. Coming to DOT also had put up a draft telecom policy, inviting comments from stakeholders. Again, I'm sure that all important stakeholders would have given inputs. As we are aware, the policy, of course, is a consultative process, and the comments of stakeholders are so very valuable. Coming to TRAI, Julian very rightly spoke about the trust. We in TRAI had a regulation, amendment to the regulation TCCC PR. Lot of things were done. When we are all aware nowadays, when you see the SMS, it is coming with the subscript, G for government, P for promotional, T for transactional, and S for service. We are all aware about that. We've also asked series to be allocated to banks, which I think have also started 1600, so that the customer has the confidence to accept that call as having from a trusted source. We must talk about digital inclusion per se. Julian also spoke about it. When we talk about digital inclusion, we must not be satisfied with the achievements we had, 1.2 billion, fastest 5G rollout, but we have to reach to the last customer, which is still not included. One of the things which TRAIs were not really working, but thinking is on systematizing or having a scheme wherein the second-hand handsets and second-hand laptops could really reach to the consumers who can't really afford a fresh one. It's early days for that, but this is one of our discussions. I can say that UK has such a scheme when advanced countries like UK, and it is with, if I'm not wrong, Vodafone there, that such a scheme is in place. So it may be good to see something of that in order to have digital inclusion. Is almost, we are at the time when we will have AI-enabled phones. So we must collectively also work from for the trust issues. Already when there have been newspaper reports about the challenges that the voice AI will throw, despite the fact that voice AI will have so many useful use cases, so as to say. In the last but not the least, some of the other things which we are working on the backhaul spectrum, the consultation process is over and TRAI's working on that. Secondly, we had a pre-consultation on the interconnect regulations. We know that the interconnect regulations are old, and with the new network developments, especially IP-based networks all over, we are working on that, and the pre-consultation has already thrown certain good suggestions, and the consultation paper should be on the net very soon, in another 2-3 weeks, if I have to predict time. So with this, these developments from DOT and TRAI, I wish CI dialogues all the very best, and I hope the deliberations would be useful for all stakeholders and the policymaker and the regulator. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I would like to really thank the panel here who have been very, very clear-cut in what we need to do in terms of ensuring that India's agenda of Viksit Bharat is met. I thank General Kochhar for laying out the entire ground of what we did last year and what we are planning to do this year, and from now onwards, what is it that we will be doing. And I think there's a very interesting thing there, that we have changed the model. The model now is dialogue, and I think it is very appropriate Given the way the industry has been collaborating with the government, the way the ecosystem is working together, that we actually do not look at just monologues, we do not just look at people sitting on dais and delivering speeches to everybody, but we actually look at a dialogue so that actually there can be a constructive way. And I think that will go a long way in ensuring that the Viksit Bharat agenda is met. So thank you, General Kochhar, for sharing this entire vision, and that is the direction in which we are moving. Thank you also, Rahul, for supporting this initiative and also for laying out today's agenda. And I think that will really help us in terms of a very collaborative approach. And the same theme was echoed by Mr. Julian Gorman also when he talked about the India Rising, the Viksit Bharat program, and what all needs to be done for that. And I think he used very interesting words that we need to work on trust and collaboration. And I think that is something that is very paramount to ensure that we have a thriving ecosystem. He also used the word inclusive superpower, and that was very, very interesting take on the future direction that we should take. And thank you very much, Mr. Gorman, for that. And we look forward to continuous interaction going ahead with GSMA. The chief guest today, Mr. Ranjan Mittar, once again took the same theme of inclusion. And he talked about that what we really need to do in terms of the last mile inclusion, which is still lacking in this country. He talked about the important role that the regulator can play in this entire journey. And indeed, the regulator has played a very, very strong role, and we continuously look forward to further dialogues with the regulator to ensure that there is a growth that takes place in the industry. I would also like to thank our sponsors, Nokia and Sienna, who are our gold sponsors, and Qualcomm, who is our silver sponsor. We look forward to your continued report so that we can have many, many more dialogues on different kind of topics moving ahead. I would like to thank the team at COAI and Voice and Data for putting together this wonderful, whenever we have a conference, aside from the people you see here, there are actually an army of people working behind the scenes, and it is because of them that you have such a smooth program. So my heartfelt thanks to the team. With that, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being a wonderful audience for today's session. I know coming in Delhi at 10 a.m. while it is raining was quite a task for a number of you, but I'm glad that you made it, and I'm sure that your contribution in the dialogues will be a very, very important milestone. Thank you very much.